Okay.
How's that working? Can you see the board and
How's-
everything?
Yep.
Sweet. Well, good game. Do you want to just go through your moves and see what's up?
Yeah.
You started off really well.
With
Yeah,
E4.
most common move in the game. Uh,
hmm Yeah, I figured like I'd try and learn with that, you know,
I
jumping off
don't
point.
see many people do this move, D3. Like it's, uh, when you look here on the right hand side, like it's a textbook move. Like there is a utility for it. I don't really know what it is, but yeah, it's a little bit unusual.
Well,
If you want to defend this pawn because of my bishop that's attacking, most people just simply knight to c3.
what's is it better to bring your knights out first?
Yeah, yeah, it is. To defend the middle pieces, yeah, most people do that. Uh, just FYI. Okay, so after you did that, I just as black, like this is a little bit high end defense, but as black, like as you can see by having two squares in between my pawns here, I'm covering quite a large range of squares. Like all these um, four squares are basically under attack. So it's just to say like it's a stronger move than doing something like this.
Oh, okay. I thought you would. Oh, that's why you brought him out. That threw me
Oh,
off. I
the
didn't.
pawn.
That's
Oh,
yeah. Well, I thought you'd. I was reading about the
yep.
B7, and there's a move where you would start like you'd threaten my pawns kind of right
Yeah,
away.
yeah. Uh, I take this one a bit slow. I'm typically a slow player in general. Yeah, I could have definitely threatened your pawn or something like that. I don't know how good this move is or anything, but
Well, not necessarily, or with the pawn. I don't know. I was expecting a pawn attack.
like
That's
this
kind
one.
of where I was reading and following. Yeah, or even in front of your bishop,
Oh
f5.
yeah, looks a bit weird to me. You can just take. I'll have to take you back eventually. Uh,
Yeah, or there was a little more build. I don't know. Anyway, I
okay.
was.
Well, anyway, everything is pretty normal so
Okay.
far. Now you bring out the knight, which is good. I start attacking. I start attacking you here in the middle, which you did a very good response. So white having these two positions with their pawns in the middle is fairly common, and it's really good because as you can see, like your knight, which is going to be very difficult for me to access to dislodge your knight over here. So this is just a very good setup by you. It's really annoying as black to deal with these middle pawns because if I were to attack with this pawn to like unwedge this, I'm already like destroying
hmm
my kingside castle protection. Like let's say you take back. Like typically you want a castle on your kingside. Um, so when you disturb this pawn, this chain of pawns here, these three guys, in any form other than like this, it's going to be it's bad for you.
You want to keep those two boys in front of your bishop
Yeah,
and your.
pretty much. If you're castling there, which you should normally do. As a rule of thumb, like basically castle every game, and typically castle on your king side. I think the only reason for not castling on your queen side as much is because your last pawn is not going to be protected. Uh, so it just requires like an extra move. I think that's the main understanding of it. But anyway, um, so
So once you disturb those two in front of your bishop, then it's easier to sneak guys
yeah,
in to attack the king.
absolutely. Uh, so that's why in situations like so see this knight here. Let's say I had my
Mm-hmm.
knight on this red square and your queen was somewhere else. It's a great trade Like I'll take your knight, even though we're exchanging knights for knights. I get to disturb this pawn, and then it just makes castling on this side like a really shitty option. You're gonna have a weak pawn structure with two pawns in
Mhm.
front of them, in front of each other, an open hole to get checked. It's horrible. Like, um, so you always want to make sure that you don't move these pawns unless you like absolutely need to, unless you're gaining like minor materials, stuff like that.
Just
Just generally,
generally,
yeah, yeah.
don't fuck with those pawns. But you did. Oh no, that's
The
your
thing
queen
I
side.
didn't
Never
do
mind.
this game, which I normally do, is I didn't castle. I didn't even, and this is really bad on my part. I didn't even develop my bishop and my knight. But that was just because I was just so far ahead for the entire game that I didn't really have any threats which needed these pieces. But the entire time I was thinking, I was like,
Yeah.
I need to move my bishop. I need to move my bishop out so I can get my knight out to this square without trapping my bishop. But the situation just never came up. I was always ahead in tempo, so. But anyway. Um, okay, so yeah. Now I'm just developing my pieces as per normal.
Where was I? This is
Yeah.
your move
So
now.
knight to the middle, attacking here. You rein.
You did take my.
I didn't take anything yet. No one's taken anything. I'm just going through the game. This is the next move. So the idea here is, yeah, you even predicted this. You saw that I would attack your pawn here with this one most likely, and so if I do that, you'll just replace it with a pawn that's not in the center, which is really good by you. You always want to like maintain control of the center, and you're willing to give up, this pawn uh, to replace this one. It's pretty standard and it's a strong move. Okay, so you castle after, which always want to do that, so that's good. I move out my queen. Um,
Can you play out other
yeah,
scenarios
sure.
here
Instead of you castling, or instead of me moving out my queen.
instead of me castling?
Right.
I could have.
So the engine is saying
Uh,
that this is a great move for you. Yeah,
that's what I
in
should
this
have done.
position, your
There-
horse is annoying, and I basically have to force it out. I think this is what I would do in. Oh wait, well I'd have to think about it, but
That would break up your
it's
king side
actually
protection.
okay to move this pawn out. This is the one exception to move it out one space. The reason for that is because let's say before this, let's say before you moved your knight, if I preemptively move out my pawn, this is a great move. It stops the bishop annoying my queen. Uh, it's
Yeah. That's what I was maybe thinking I should have done.
Oh yeah, it's good. Basically, what you would do is you would basically force me to move out my bishop, or move out my knight. In which case, my queen would be pinned. It's an annoying move. So very often, probably like the even like the fourth move of the game, it's very common for people to just preemptively move out their pawn like this. Like with the fourth or fifth move of the game, people do that. Yeah.
Huh.
Uh, yeah, it's good, and you can
Cool.
still castle and not worry too much about it. Okay, so
Yeah, true.
yeah, so that's basically the idea of what you could have done by moving your knight. It's just like basically to disturb my setup, fully knowing that it's not like you're not like trapping me or anything by moving there. It's just like you're moving my pieces around in ways that I may not necessarily want to.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. But what I did
You
do,
moved
what
up
did
your
I?
pawn to protect this one.
Yeah. Okay, but after that,
Yeah, I
then
came
you
down with
came
this one.
down. Anyway,
Yeah,
you
I
came
did.
down anyway. Okay, and I should have Well, I didn't need to do anything.
No, you're doing completely fine. I think you're even winning in this position. Like at this moment, you're ahead by plus 1.3, which is I don't even fully understand what the numbers mean, but I think gaining material is like if you were to get like a pawn for free, I think it's like plus one.
Okay. I just learned or I'm getting used to what do you call it?
Like the
The
yeah, the
labeling, the
notation.
numbers, the notation.
All right, so I move out my queen. The reason I did this move was basically just planning an attack. I know that these pawns are going to shift positions, so maybe I can organize something with my rook over here to come down. That was all I was doing with my queen. I'm just preparing for the exchange. Yeah. So this move is still very viable, and the engine is still saying that you can do it. You decide to move out your rook. It's fine. You always want your rooks on major files, and this is a very good and normal move. So that's what I was saying. I was like, the first 10 moves I think you did were like very, very good. Oh, and here you get the pawn. So I eventually, pretty late into the game, I think this is move 14. I move out my pawn to stop this kind of thing going on over here.
Okay.
And you're just kind of developing your pieces. You're reinforcing your pieces. It's always good just to move your minor pieces like once somewhere, even though I didn't do it. Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
the engine says that this is a mistake, um, and you know what? I would agree. Not I mean, the engine can sometimes predict things that are way beyond my level of comprehension, but the idea here was something along the lines of yeah, once the trades are done, I can maybe trade for a piece and still have access to this file here with the rook.
Yeah.
Okay, so the queen
Yes, sir.
over here. Yeah, I saw that in the chat. You did mention that you thought you brought out your queen too early.
Yeah.
So what were you thinking with this move over here?
Um, just to have a like a threat, I guess.
Yeah, and the knight is pinned and everything.
Yeah, to trap your knight and to maybe set up an attack later, and to just keep a pressure
One of the
line on you.
problems with attacking with the queen, especially when there are no pieces taken, is that I can just do something like this, and you're
Yeah.
just gonna have to move away now, which kind of
Yeah.
sucks.
Because it just brought you out and it cost me
Yeah.
a couple
So if
moves.
you take a look at the spots that you can go to, it's kind of limited. Uh, all these red squares are bad for you, and even
Hmm.
this one is pretty bad for you. If you go too deep, you could get trapped. So you either waste your turn by moving backwards, or you put yourself in a position that, yeah, it's just kind of like a waste of time, basically. Yeah, so it said to return to your
Yeah.
original position, and this is where your first blunder happened. By moving here, I was able to get
Yeah.
the double attack on your queen and bishop.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah. It's all downhill from there.
definitely. So you moved back, which is okay. By moving here, well, I guess it's the same thing if you just take the pawn right after. But yep. So I'm developing. The reason why I moved my queen over one square over here instead of developing my pieces is because I basically want to move up on this side, and I need these pieces protected. I need this pawn protected. Like I want to move this up one. I want to move this pawn up one, but it's just an unguarded piece. That's the only thing I was doing there. Okay, so the attack continues. I move up my pawn.
It's protected now.
I'm attacking your queen. I'm also attacking this piece with my rook. So the idea is I'm hoping that you oops, sorry. I'm hoping that you move your queen basically somewhere where this piece is not protected. So like not here. But you decide to move the pawn up. And I think this was another blunder.
Yeah, I missed the rook.
Yeah. And this is another weird move too. So just in general, like, you probably, even though there's a pawn in the way, like, when I saw that you moved here, I was like, okay, let's do something with this. I want to basically trap your queen, because my rook is always going to be attacking it if something happens to this pawn. I don't know what else you could have done here. Yeah. Because if you take with the knight, again, you would just it would be a bad exchange. You would lose that, and you'd have to move your queen away again. And already, because of this file that's open, my pawn can just keep on going down pretty early into the game, which you don't want. Yeah, so it's just yeah, this was a weird move, but I want to push this up. I don't know what I was thinking with that one. So you attack the bishop. I just move it away. And then you take the pawn. And again, it's like, okay, this something's going to happen over here. Your queen is like, even though it's not pinned right now, it's like on the verge of being pinned. As soon as I move my bishop away, and if I were to move it here, which I believe I do, you're gonna have trouble moving your queen away without your knight dying, because I'm gonna have two pieces attacking you.
Yeah.
So yeah, you always want to watch out for your queen in that sense, because you can't trade it like the other pieces. But anyway, I don't do that. I don't just move my piece here to attack your knight. The idea I was thinking is, okay, so let's say I take your knight over here, and you don't break up your pawn chain, because that's very important. Let's say you take with the queen.
Then, well, you can get me with your queen.
I would.
Oh, you wouldn't do
I'd
that.
get you with my queen. You disturb your pawns, and then afterwards I take your knight. And in which case I would just be up a minor material. So you did do the right thing. You did take with your pawn. This is the better move. But like, look, now your king is out in the open. So this just sucks for you. And you still have this problem over here. Yeah. So I basically want to put pressure on your knight now. I want to put pressure on your knight so you're forced to move it or let it die, so that my rook can attack you. But this is actually a mistake. By me moving my queen here, I only noticed this afterwards. By me moving my queen here, you can do this move. You can check me like this, and even though I take you, you can take my rook, and I am forced to move my king. In which case, then you can take a bishop back. So you would be winning the game at this point.
Oh man, I saw that too. Fuck. I was thinking you take, but you didn't have to use your bishop. You could take me with your queen.
Let's try that out.
Oh, but then I would zap you with my horse too.
I do that. You do this.
Yeah.
take with the check with
Same
the
thing.
king. I move over here, and then you take my queen with your pawn. So yeah,
Oh yeah. Fuck, I missed
yeah. The
that.
tides could have changed. Yeah, I
They
didn't
could
realize how
have.
much of a blunder this move was. And okay, so this is
Wow. I
probably
saw that.
a good time to talk about another very important concept in chess. Is that by me moving my queen over here, um, I've made kind of a quite an oversight because basically on all of your turns, you should ask yourself this one question: am I leaving any piece alone, like completely undefended by anybody? If I look at black, this rook is undefended, this pawn is undefended, and as white, you're supposed
Mhm.
to see that and say, okay, how can I attack those pieces? And well, this is how you do it. This is literally how you would attack my undefended pieces. By attacking undefended pieces, you can gain like massive momentum. You can get free exchanges. It's basically how you win the game. There's another undefended piece in the game. It's this bishop over here. Uh, I wasn't really too concerned because it didn't seem like it was going anywhere. It can't go here, and it's being blocked by your own pawn. So I was like, don't really need to put pressure on the bishop. But yeah, that's definitely something.
Ooh, I wish I
Yeah,
saw that.
yeah. It's a hard move to see because you immediately give up your piece.
Well, that's what I saw. I saw. Okay, I'm gonna put him in check, and then it. But I'm like, oh, then he's just dead. I didn't see the next
Yeah,
move.
yeah, yeah,
Ooh, that's weird.
yeah. It's really
Yeah,
good.
that's good.
and then you have a pawn that's really far up.
And you have to move your
Again, I
king
have to move my king out into
again.
the open.
Yeah,
Let's see.
and then I would take your rook,
You would
your
take my
knight.
knight, right? Yeah. Oh my God, it's devastating. It's a devastating move.
Yeah.
Let's see. What can black do now? Um, okay, move over here.
Oof, man. I'd move my rook. No, because that's one move away from. Never mind. You were defended before.
Maybe this is a good move.
I was thinking, put your knight, queen into
Like this?
jeopardy. Attack your.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that can work. I would focus more on the attack in this spot. Like my queen will bother you, but
Okay.
again, you can just move your bishop over here, and everyone's safe. There's no way I can
Yeah.
checkmate you with just this queen, given you have these rooks here
No.
and the bishop over here. But what you do have is you have this pawn over here. If I were in your position, I would make sure that this rook never plays the game. I think by moving here, oh yeah, it's an excellent move, says the engine. But if I were
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
move out my knight, oh, it's so good because if I want to get any of these
Yeah.
pieces
I
out
can't.
into the game, it's devastating. If I move out my knight, you can take my rook. Um,
Boom. Or I could even maybe. I would take your knight.
take my knight with your queen. I have a rook right here.
Yeah. Try it. But you're. Oh yeah. Yeah. No. No. Just try it. Go back. Because you're in check
No, no,
again,
no.
right? You
Like
have to
you
move your
just moved
king,
here.
and now you move to
No,
block
I'm not
me.
moving my knight. I'm just moving my king away. So now it's your turn. Do you want to
Okay.
take the knight?
Right.
Exactly.
No. No. No.
I think the goal should be get this pawn up. So
Yeah.
by putting your queen here, it puts black in a horrible position. I have to move. So you can either move up your pawn, or this is probably the best move here. Yeah, you just make sure your bishop doesn't die, and at this point, black should pretty much concede. It's like these pieces are completely trapped. The queen can't do anything, and now I'll like I guess maybe is this a terrible move? Yeah, I would have to move my king back into this little tiny corner.
Dangerous.
White moves up their pawn. Develop the knight finally. You have to move your queen. Let's say you move it here. Oh yeah, even better. Just take the queen. King does that. You get another one.
Yeah. Yeah. Boom. Check.
It's over. You're up. You're up 2 rooks at this point.
Yeah, I could have had you. It would have been all just fallen into place too if I just.
Well, you'd also have to like. Yeah, it would have been. It would have been a really good move for sure. But this is what happened. I take your knight, and you have to move your queen away. You move it over here.
I think I just it was all.
Yeah, I guess you just forfeited after that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I could have kept going.
It's pretty much over at this point for white. And again, to go back to the other thing about like not developing your pieces, you can see how much that hurt me by the end of the game. I didn't castle, so my king was exposed, which allowed you to do the fork with your knight. These pieces became useless at the end of the game. That's why it's like super important to move them at least once. But I just never felt the pressure, so I did it. But yeah, I guess the lesson is, even if you think you're doing really well, you never know. You never know.
Or really bad. You never know. Okay, thanks, man. Yeah. I gotta go.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Let's do that again.
Peace.
Okay, good lesson. I didn't know about the pawn, the double space. Or holding so much threat, you know? That's cool.
Yeah, you played well, so we'll play again sometime.
Yeah, I've just been playing like without knowing like 3 of those things.
Yes.
Or really how I'm a player, like I read the board, but I have trouble making attacks. I kind of play like I don't know.
I think most people start off that way, like naturally. You just play based on what patterns you think are good, but definitely do the are any of my pieces completely alone? That's huge. That'll change your entire game.
Okay. Yeah, I play Nate all the time. He has started to beat me almost every time. But he plays the same way I do, so it's I'm gonna destroy him now.
Nice.
But aside from Nate, I usually can beat almost everyone I play.
Well, you are living out in Perth or Lanark.
Yeah, what does that mean? Yeah, I go to the Imperial. Who wants to play? No, I don't.
Yeah.
I play my friends. Yeah, careful.
All right, peace, dude. Good luck. Peace.
See ya.